Alright, hey everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to The King's Speech. So finally getting back to the read-throughs for the channel. I feel like it's been a while since the last one. But like I mentioned in a couple of the Akane videos, I'll just do kind of a quick summary recap here. So plan for the read-throughs, at least for the new year, starting for the new year, is to get caught up with as much Yona of the Dawn as possible. And then hopefully by February I will be starting Battle Angel Alita Mars Chronicle. So I'll be hopefully adding that into the roster, so look forward to that. I'll try to do a proper channel update about that either tomorrow or sometime next week, so look forward to that. But without further ado, we're going to get back into Yona of the Dawn with Volume 19. So let's kick it off with Yona of the Dawn Volume 19, Chapter 106, The Blue Forest, Part 1. We have alright, let's stop here for today and make camp. You have Ewan just giving out orders going, Thunderbeast, start a fire. It's like, got it. It's like, Gija, get some water. It's like, okay. Sinha, gather up lots of firewood. Jeha, pitch the tent. It's like, right. And it's like, Yona's like, then I'll go do some hunting. He's like, oh, well, you were a bit short on meat. That'd be a big help. She's like, I'm happy to. And Yona just casually strolls off. He's like, I'll go bag a bear. Yona's like, whoa, like, that's so cool, Yona. He's like, stop her, Thunder Beast. Your princess is getting overly bold and burly. It's like, a bear, huh? She must be pretty hungry. It's like, don't act like that's normal. It's like, just the bird will be plenty. Don't do anything rash. It's like, okay. It's like, and that leaves, like, Xeno will take a nap. Wake him when food's ready. And Yona just grabs him by the scarf. It's like, hold it. It's like, Xeno, come help with food prep. I know you know how to cook. It's like, Xeno is like, don't give me the childlike act. He just like starts leaning on a cane. He's like, but Xeno's back has ached all day, and he has a headache. It's like, knock it off, you eternal teenager. You see him just like, discipline is being like, young people nowadays sure are harsh with the elderly. He's like chopping up some vegetables. And then he has like a moment where he senses something. He does like a quick turnaround looking into the forest. And he's like, what's the matter? It's like, nothing. And you see the owl with his cute, pew, as he's dashing through the forest as Sinha's picking up some firewood. He's like, owl, it's like, don't go too far ahead. You see a rustle. Oh, God. As he comes across this ominous-looking dragon statue in the forest. And you see it pew as owl is just kind of like leaping into the dragon's mouth. Or leaping in and out of the dragon's mouth. He's kind of like lying on the dragon's mouth, and as he is, the dragon's mouth is like slowly closing upwards, and you see Owl just get like dragged into it. So now just whips out his sword and slashes it at the neck and cuts it down so that Owl falls out. He's like, Owl, are you all right? He's like, let's head back. He's just walking away. There's like a black mist streaming from the dragon's mouth. You have like a zoom as it just like looms menacingly behind him. Shinda's taken ages. It's like, Yona and Thunder Beast aren't back yet either. It's like, I can't get dinner started. Jaya's like, I'll go look around. And you see him stepping on a branch with a skiff. And it's like, oh, Sinha, you're... As he walks back and you see that he doesn't have his mask on. You have Green Dragon. It's like, It's like, yes, Xeno? It's like, what do you think? It's like, huh? It's like, you're always trying to see Blue Dragon's eyes. You got your wish. He's like, oh, that's true. Well, to be honest, I'm not entirely sure how to react. It's certainly true that I've never seen such beautiful golden eyes before, but I have to admit, lately most of my attempts to see under his mask have been meant to get a rise out of him. He talks so rarely that getting him to say stop or don't look or stay away is a bit of a thrill, you know. It's like, they really are beautiful, though. And Xeno's like, you're gonna die of a heart attack one of these days. And Yun's like, Sinha's mask is practically part of him. It's weird seeing him without it. Jaeha's like, I think it's wonderful. It's a sign that he's feeling more open and comfortable with us. We mustn't make a big deal of it. Try to be subtle. And he goes over next to her and is like, Sinha, your eyes truly are exquisite. It's like, White Dragon's the least subtle of us all. It's like, Gija has a disorder that makes him blurt out everything he's thinking. And you see... What the hell? As Jaeha's like trying to tug on his arms, like, come this way. And Sinha's like, hands off, peon. He's like, sorry, did it hurt? sometimes I misjudge my strength. He's like, your only power was waving your right arm around. That could never hurt me, you fool. And everyone's taken aback by this, like, and Yun's like, Sinha? And you see Yida just like edging back slowly, kind of like wobbling away. It's like the Council of the Four Dragon Brothers is now in session. The topic is Sinha's rebellious face. And Jeha's like, now things are getting interesting. It's the Council of the Four Dragon Brothers has nothing to do with me. I'm not a member. It's like, that's not true, Yun. We think of you as a mother. I mean, a younger brother. Please participate. It's like, did you just call me a mother? It's like, oh, fine. And he plunks down next to them. It's like, now, personally, I've never gone through a rebellious phase. What are your thoughts on this, Jeha? It's like, why ask me? It's like, weren't you having a rebellious phase in Awa? It's like, no, I was not. It's like, no need to worry. A little rebellion will make him grow into a respectable person. And Gija's like, pardon? Are you saying I grew up to be disreputable? So you have the right-mindedness of unwarped steel. Green Dragon has worked out all his little warped and dented spots and is now a pleasant young man. But that's because he's so pure-hearted. And Jeha's like, maybe you should stop talking, Zeno. So what about you, Yun? Did you ever rebel against the priest? Let's not discuss me. It's like, anyway, Sinha's rebelling because he's pure-hearted like Jeha, isn't he? It's like, no, slow down, Gija. It's like, this is like a typhoon. Once it passes, Blue Dragon will be back to his kind self. It's like, I see. I just have to approach him with understanding. And Zeno's just singing songs like, yes, yes. And you see a flap and a Sinha. It's like, is there something you're struggling with right now? Don't give in. Despair is the enemy. Oh my God. Hang in there. You can do this. If you're in a bad place, cry out to the sun. Try to become like the earth. You don't need to be the very best. Just focus on being the unique individual. And it's like, you have always been. And you see Sinha just punches him with a pow and a shut up. Stop talking. It's like, that's odd. He punched me. And Yun's like, no, I would have punched you too. It's like, I see. And Jeha's like, I'd say it's best to give him space right now. Act like everything's normal. It's like this. It's like, Sinha, could you help me set up the tent, please? And as Jeha's setting it up, Sinha just slashes it with his sword. And Yun's like, hey, Sinha, what are you doing? It's like, oh dear. So calm down, Yun. We mustn't get angry without hearing his side. If we don't have a tent, well, we'll just be a bit chilly at night, and we can laugh at Gija's fear of bugs. It'll all be fine. Gija just shudders like, bugs? So that tent wasn't cheap, you know. I'll be up all night mending it. And Jeha's like, Sinha, apologize to Mom. Make it snappy. He's like, who are you calling Mom? And you see Zeno and Gija just kind of bowing to him like, we're sorry. He's like, look, we all live together, so I need you to pull your weight. I asked you to handle the firewood, right? Go get some. And he's like, don't glare at me, young man. It's like, it's one thing to feel rebellious, but you have to listen to Yun. You have a wait. Sinha, where's Ao? And he's like, Ao? It's like, right, your partner. I haven't seen her around. It's like, no idea what you're talking about. And Gi just taken aback by this. And he goes all serious and he goes, it's like, Gija? It's like, who are you? It's like, huh? It's like, he's not Sinha? It's like, hey, obviously he is. Like, his aura is definitely the Blue Dragon's. But it'd be one thing if he lost any memory of you, Jeha. But Sinha would never forget Pukyu. He's an imposter. And Jeha's like, well, that was cold. It's like, who are you? What happened to Sinha and Ao? And as Gija tries to reach out with his arm again, you have a screet, and you have like an ominous aura coming off of him. And you see Jeha kind of blocking his sight with his arm, because I think the implication was that Sinha's about to use his powers on him, and Jeha blocked the sight. And as he's about to turn it on Jeha, Zeno comes in front of him and like takes a defensive stance. Yeah, Sinha! And he turns it on. Yun kind of like falls to his knees. Like, Yun, don't look at his eyes! Zeno, you too! And as Zeno's standing there, you see him getting slashed across or bitten? I don't know what that's supposed to be. I think it's like the image of like the dragon supposed to be biting him. You have a Zeno! It's like Zeno's like his power. It's like, it's alright. The feeling only lasts an instant. It doesn't work on me. It's like, it's my first time being hit by the Blue Dragon's power. I've heard it described, but now experience the illusion of being devoured by a dragon firsthand. Even after 2,000 years, there's still lots to learn. Zeno is still a spring chicken. It's like, now then, ever since you arrived, you've given off a strange aura. There's something within Blue Dragon, isn't there? It's like, something within Sinha? And he gives off like this creepy smile as he does another glare at him. You see the dragon image kind of like taking a bite out of Zeno's leg. And he falls with a thud. He's like, that feels great. What do you think? How does it feel being chewed to bits? And Zeno's like, dull mostly. You're taking too long. Just go for the heart. And you see in the next one, he does just that as the dragon claw kind of like reaches through Zeno's chest. He's like, Zeno! Zeno! He's like, ha ha ha! This is fantastic. And you see that he's overexerted himself. And Sinha kind of just like flops over with the foot and falls down. It's like, Sinha! And you have a hop. Zeno just sits up. It's like, Zeno! It's like, did Blue Dragon settle down? Like, stop trying to scare me to death. Things like this could kill Zeno. He would have died long ago. It's like, is Sinha alright? It's like the recoil from his powers hit him. He won't be able to move for a while. The guy inside, that is. And you see with the lures that Sinha gets back up. And you see later that night with the, sorry this took so long. It's like, I wonder if Yun's mad. Is that fucking... Oh, God, why can I... Huck. Why did Huck fucking kill a baby bear? Oh my God. You see, like, so I don't know if it was like a baby bear or a deer or what, but he's got like an animal over one shoulder. Yona's got like a handful of apples. It's like, it'll be fine. Look what we've got for him. It's like, I hope he likes it. It's like, everyone, we're back. And you see, what the hell? You see Yun kind of like huddled up with his legs to his chest on the ruins of the tent. It's like, Yun, what's wrong? It's like, Yona, Thunder Beast. It's like, what happened? It's like, what'll we do? They're all gone. So you have chapter 106 end. So you have, what do you mean they're all gone? Where? It's like, I don't know. Sinha was acting rebellious. He was acting so wild. He slashed the tent. He was laughing out loud. Sinha! Then Gija held an emergency meeting and Zeno fell over and I... And Huck's like, calm down. All I'm hearing is that we missed something fun. So you have chapter 107, The Blue Forest, part 2. It's like, Yun, start at the beginning. It's like, okay, Sinha started acting strangely. And he flashes back to, it's like, he's not getting hit by the usual recoil. It's like, maybe because his power doesn't have much effect on Zeno? It's like, I guess Sinha versus Zeno isn't much of a battle. It's like, that's true. Blue Dragon's power is useless if Zeno's not seriously injured, so it's like, it's just a staring contest. And you see a swoon as you have, like, again, the ominous aura, like, dripping off Sinha. And you see, as Gija and Jaya fall to their knees, like, clutching their heads. And so does Yun. He's like, lad! It's like, my head. It's like, it hurts. It's like, stop! It's like, how are you able to withstand it? It's like, lots of life experience. That won't work on... See, the next page you see, like, Sinha just tying up Zeno with some rope. He's like, you're resorting to this? And he just kind of like hauls him over his shoulder like a sack of potatoes. He's like, Zeno! So, but Zeno can't do anything like this. Don't you know he's weak? He's like, oh, have you considered cutting Zeno down with your sword? He's like, hey, where are you going? You're not allowed to borrow Zeno. And you have you in turn like, Zeno. It's like, ugh. Then I passed out. When I came to, Gija and Jeha were gone too. I didn't know what to do, so I was worried if I went searching you'd come back and we'd all be gone. So I made some rice while I waited for you. And you see like a hot steaming pot of rice. It's like, that's our Yun. And Yona's just like half-heartedly clapping. It's like the perfect mother. It's like, I'm not a mother! It's like, on the bright side, we've got a... God, it fucking was a baby bear. Good lord. So on the bright side, we begged a bear for you. So you actually begged a bear? So anyway, we get that this is a bad situation. It's like, if Sinha used his powers, this is really serious. It's like, it didn't seem like Sinha was in control. He carried Zeno away. But I don't know where he went since I passed out. It's like Gija and Jeha might have gone after him. Let's hurry and look for them. It's like, wait a second. I'll make some rice balls out of this rice. You see him just rushing, is like molding some rice balls. And Huck's like, just accept your maternal qualities, Yun. And you see later that night, Yona crying out, Gija! Jeha! It's like, answer me! It's like, do you have any insults for White Snake? It's like, why insults? It's like, if you hear someone insulting him, he'll come running no matter what situation he's in. He's gotten so used to White Snake that he answers to it now. Yun's like, that's true. So what about Jeha? It's like, if you insult him, he takes it as praise. He's got issues. And Yona's like, oh, it's like, ow! And she sees this girl just like passed out next to a tree. It's like, look, Sinha's mask. It's like, ow, ow! It's like, what do we do, Yona? Owl's not moving. It's like, don't panic. It's like, Pukyu, dinner time. And I was just at someone like, Pukyu! It's like, that's amazing, Yona. Owl came back to life. So to wake Pukyu up, just say dinner or acorn. It's like, ow, do you know where Sinha is? And he takes him back to the Hawk sees the statue nearby. He's like, what's this? It's like, whoa, this dragon statue head came off. And he sees under the statue there's like a staircase leading down somewhere. Yeah, this is like suspicious. It's like, I wonder what's down there. It's like, maybe that's where Sinha and the others went. It's like, hold on, I'll light a torch. It's like, it's pretty deep. I wonder how far down it goes. And you hear a skirt, like I think it's supposed to be like a rock scraping noise, and Yun looks around. He's like, hey, I just heard a noise. And Yona's like, Yun! And you see the entrance kind of, oh my god. See the entrance slowly closing over them. And Yun's like, Yona, catch! As he tosses her the package with the rice balls in it. As you have a Thum. It's like, no way! Everyone's been trapped underground! And you see Hawk trying to like move the statue, and it's just like, damn, it won't open. Yona's like, let's go forward. There might be an exit somewhere. And maybe we'll find Sinha and the others. So this could end pretty badly. You sure are calm. It's like, yeah, you didn't toss me some rice balls, so I laughed before I could panic. Besides, as long as you're with me, I'm not afraid of anything. And Huck's like, could you say that again? It's like, you didn't toss me some rice balls, so it's like, I heard that part. And Yona's blushing. He's like, never mind. It's like, did I say something strange? He's like, oh, it's like, wait, my vision. It's getting so... And she sways and falls into Huck. He's like, princess? He's like, your highness! It's like, hey, your highness! It's like, at least she's still breathing. He's like, what's going on? The entrance won't open. And you see a crackle as he looks down at her. It's like, all I can do is go further in and look for the others. It's like, alright, Gija. And you see it now, and you see Gija and Jeha striking out with their fist and leg respectively. It's like, no luck. Even the two of us together can't break it. I can send Sinha and Zeno on the other side of the door. So what do we do? Let's search for another path. There's no doubt that they're here. We'll definitely bring them back with us. It's like, I know, but is there really no other path besides this one? And see like all these shadows just like crawling out of the ground and walls. Gija's like, what's wrong with it? Jeha's like, huh? You can't see them? It's like, what do you mean? Where? It's like, is it just me then? Well, I've always been able to see things like that. It's like, you see something? Where? What's more, all the weight on my shoulders is making me feel sick. And you see some of the spirits just kind of like draped over his shoulders. It's like, huh? Like what you sensed when we were facing off against that imposter? It's like, you really don't feel anything? It's like, not right now. It's like, I feel like I'll pass out if I lose focus. And he just like, don't worry. If that has to happen, I'll slap you with this hand as he holds up his dragon hand. It's like, you'll kill me so I don't lose consciousness, huh? And you see a gah as he sees Millipede skittering nearby. It's like, Jeha, a bug! There's a bug! It's like, if we're together, I won't have the time to pass out. And he says, like, it hit behind those human bones! It's like, most people be more distressed by human remains than bugs. It's like, huh? It's like, I suppose that's true in a place like this. It's like, I just hope we're not looking at what's in store for us. It's like, they're fairly old. Look, there's a sword, too. It seems like there was a battle. It's like, does this remind you of anything? It's like, huh. Looks rather similar to Sinha's mask. And you see down below, Zito's getting kind of like groped over by these shadow spirits. And he wakes up with a start and goes, whoa, that was startling. So there are lots of these guys here. He's like, huh? Blue Dragon? It's like, no, wait. You're impersonating him. It's like, no. I am the Blue Dragon. You're the Yellow Dragon, aren't you? I can tell, since you and I are both dragons. And Zeno's like, the spirit of a blue dragon from the past has possessed our current one. That isn't a surprise. You use the blue dragon's power after all. Does this mean that the blue dragon village was once here? That's right. Now it's a tomb where the souls of the former blue dragons rest. It's like, so, the current blue dragon just coincidentally awakened you? It's like, sorry, Zeno apologizes on his behalf. It's like, now, it's time for you to return my children, isn't it? And Old Blue Dragon's like, coincidentally, all the blue dragons who rest here have been suppressed and trampled. They've yearned to walk this earth, to discard their masks and use their power. Yes, they've wanted to use their power freely, and the perfect vessel has finally appeared. It's like, this is fate. And he kind of drags Zeno up by his hair. It's like, something about your body is special. You're going to give it to my brethren as a vessel. And Zeno was like, sure. And you see like all these hands, just like spirit, like spooky hands reaching out to him. And he closes his eyes and opens them and he goes, except, I don't recommend doing it. I will say, that is a banger panel. He's like, what? It's like, my heart's been run through and my body's been ripped apart dozens or hundreds of times. For hundreds, thousands of years, I've thought about ending my life. My memory of it is hazy, but once I tore myself to shreds. If I could give myself to you, then I would, gladly. But my life is monstrous. Even if the whole world disappears, I'm sure I'd still be here somehow. You see Blue Dragon taken aback by this, as the spirits kind of just like scuttle away from him in fear. It's like, are you saying that I cannot shoulder the burden of the yellow dragon? It's like 4 people entered this underground chamber earlier. The white dragon, the green dragon, and a pair of humans. They're heading this way. They're taking their bodies. Should be easy. You have chapter 107 end, and you have you go back to Yona outside of the statue cave. So what do I do? What can I do by myself? It's like, huh? Now that I'm looking closely at this, there's some sort of mechanism in the severed neck. Maybe the mechanism malfunctioned and closed on its own? Come to think of it, I heard a noise over there. Might have been my imagination, though. Kind of like rubs away his tears. He's like, pull yourself together, you genius pretty boy. So you have chapter 108, The Blue Forest, part 3. And we wake up with Yona going, where am I? You have Yona, as Sinha shows up before her. It's like, Sinha, I'm so glad I found you. It's like, Yona, don't go near me. It's dangerous. It's like, Sinha, what? It's like, there are souls with deep grudges here. They're going after everyone. I'm not in control of my body. It's like, I used my power on Zeno. It's like, Sinha. It's like, what's immobilizing you? It's like a previous blue dragon. It's like, a blue dragon? It's like, I was able to read his thoughts. A long time ago, the blue dragon village was here, until it was suddenly attacked by bandits. The blue dragon was still a baby, so the villagers escaped with him. They trapped the bandits in this underground chamber, using the baby's predecessor as bait. So he got injured fighting the bandits and he couldn't leave this place. He's the one controlling my body now. So are you telling me about him because what happened to him makes you sad? And Sinha's kind of silent, and Yona goes, Sinha, step aside, please. It was you who made me fall asleep, right? This guy, I can't. It's like, I'm coming for you. I'll never stop. It's like, you'll be okay. No matter what you do, your place in our hearts won't change. So let's go back together, Sinha. And you see as Yona wakes up from her dream reverie thing, it's like, it's pitch black. Am I still dreaming? No, I'm not. It's like, Huck! Huck, where are you? You know, just gently grabs her hand. She's like, Huck? It's a princess, you're awake. It's like, but I can't see anything. It's like, sorry. The torch went out and I couldn't find my way around. I wasn't sure what to do. He's like, Huck, it's like, are you in pain? It sounds like you're having trouble speaking. It's like, no, nothing's wrong. And she kind of clasps his face with her hands. It's like, you're lying. It's like, I don't need to see you to tell you're in bad shape. Your skin's cold and your breathing is ragged. And it's like, Sinha told me that souls with deep grudges are coming after us. And Huck's like, huh? What are you talking about? It's like, I'm just feeling a little sluggish. And you see him like cradling his head. And Yona kind of just cradles him close to her chest. She's like, I won't let them have you. Ghosts or whatever they are. I don't care. I mean it. And Huck's just like, am I dreaming? It's like, snap out of it, Huck. It's like, is this some kind of dream where everything is going my way? And she's just like slapping his head, be like, wake up. Maybe it means I'm about to die. Oh, excuse me, need a sip of water if I can figure out where I put my bottle. Throat's getting dry. And you see him kind of like groggily getting back up. And she's like, you sure you can move? It's like, my body feels so heavy. It's like, but right now I'm so annoyed about not being able to see your face. It's giving me the willpower to live. It's like he literally has spirits clinging to him. And Yona's like, that's the spirit, Huck. It's like, okay, it's pitch black, so which way? You got Pew, as Owl just goes kind of running off. It's like, think Owl can follow Sinha's scent. It's like, so she's way more useful than Whitesnake. Yona's like, Sinha, I will reach you. Let's get out of this place. Together. Java, Gija going, they're close. I sent Zeno and Sinha. And Jeha's like, yes. It's like, the air's so stagnant. What is this place? Everything hurts. My entire body feels like it's being carved up. It's as if an invisible beast is toying with me like prey. And you see a thwomp as Jeha collapses, and Gija's like, Jeha! You have a hey! And you see that Zeno and Sinha also sense their presence. It's like they're nearby. It's like, the green dragon seems to be at his limit. It's like pushing and shoving. It's like, don't you cry. As Zeno just gets up and rams into Sinha's back and knocks him over. And he just sits on him with a thud and is like, just a moment. It's like, sorry about this. And he slips out his sword so he can cut himself free of the ropes. It's like, there, Zeno is free. And it's like, what now? Are you going to come at me with that sword? It's like, Zeno would never. It's like, I didn't think you'd hurt this body. That's one reason, but all the dragons other than Zeno are like the children of Abi, Shuten, and Gwen. To me, you're all the most darling things. It's like, right, now then. And he sees Zeno just slashing his own arm. And it's like, what? It's like, hey, it's like Green Dragon's in trouble and the candles in this room won't last much longer. This isn't the most attractive way, but Zeno's going to get past. So he cut off his own arm so he can get his dragon scale ability to activate. He's like, take this! And he uses his arm to punch a hole through the wall with a pow. You have Zeno! It's like, white dragon, over here! It's like, green dragon, are you still alive? And you see that Jeha's still out of it. It's like, yellow dragon, what exactly is your power? And you see, swift as she's like, white dragon, and you see he's just grabbing his face with the claws. He goes, you're gonna give me my little brother back. It's like, yeah, little brother? The 4 dragon warriors are pretending to be siblings now? That's hilarious. It's like, if you want someone to possess, take me. I don't mind. I'll carry the burden. And you have a, heh, you won't do. The previous white dragon's blessing is too strong. And you see Sinha grabbing sword, like slashing away as Gija retreats. You have a pew, as Aho comes running up. He's like, what? What a noisy squirrel. You're in the way, as he tosses out of the way. And you have Yona going, Sinha! It's like, your highness, you can't be here. It's like, sorry, my late Gija. I was like, here, rice balls from Yun. He's like, oh. I was like, thank you. I was like, wait, rice balls? And you see that Sinha's kind of taken aback by, like, the directness of Yona's gaze. As she kind of just gets, like, closer to him. I guess it's, like, the lack of fear in her eyes just, like, gets closer. And his heart's, like, going, like, thump, 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 thump. It's like, something wrong? And you see tears streaming down Sinha's face. He's like, I don't understand. What are you? It's like, just a human. If you use your powers to try to possess me, I have no way of resisting. It's like, why? It's like, my legs are trembling. I'm crying. Why? Why am I terrified? And he kind of just keels over, like, please, don't come any closer. And Yona just kind of embraces him and goes, Sinha told me about you, but I hope you'll tell me about yourself. And he flashes back and goes, it was terrifying. My whole life people detested me. I had no real fighting experience, but I was used as bait. They trapped me in the dark to die. I couldn't help cursing everything. My only friends were the souls that lingered here. Jeff, I see. So that's why Sinha let you use his body for a little while. But he was quite distressed by how rough you were with Zeno and the others. And other blue dragons, like, he let me use his body? It's like, Sinha is kind. Very, very kind. It's like, blue dragon, if Sinha allows it, you can stay in there. But once your emotions have settled down, give his body back to him. Sinha was like you, and he was finally able to leave the darkness and go out into the sun. As he's sitting there in Yona's embrace, like, this is enough. I already knew that no matter how I struggled, my time would never return. I wonder why. I feel as if I was waiting for you all this time. And you see like the spirit kind of like floating away in the magic bubbles. You have a Yona. It's like, Sinha? It's like, Sinha, you're back. Huck's like, my body feels lighter. Yeah, I was like, mine too. It's like, for the elderly, it was a strenuous experience. Sinha's like, I'm sorry, everyone. It's like, don't worry about it. I'm just glad you're safe. And yeah, he kind of notices his mask is disappearing, and he covers his eyes. He's like looking around for it. It's like, your mask is outside. And Yona's like, do you still need it? And he kind of just embarrassed and kind of like shakes his head and goes, but it's special to me. I feel more comfortable with it. It's like, I see. Then let's get out of here. It's like, the entrance is closed off. It's like, leave it to me. It's like, there go the candles. It's like, the torch is useless too. It's like, guess we're all going to be skeletons after all. It's like, well, that's a problem. It's like, it'll be all right. I can see. Hold on. See, all just kind of like snuggling up to him. It's like, not like that. It's like, line up. It's like, we can always count on you. It's like, oh, you'll hit your head on the ceiling, duck. You have an okay and a gah. It's like, Gija, you're so careless. And ow! As you know, it's like, you two are so dumb. It's like, ow! And Huck's like, you guys are never boring. You hear a hey. It's like, what's that? It's like a strange voice. Could it be another ghost? You hear another hey. It's like, it's coming this way. And you see, there you are, you strange beasts. You were taking too long, you dummies. You see, it's like trying not to cry. It's like, don't cause so much trouble for me, bakas. It's like, you're all such a handful. And Yona's like, Yun, how did you get here? It's like, I heard a sound in the distance, and when I checked it out, I found another entrance. It's like, it was dark. I was all alone, and the rice balls I bought had gone cold. And they're all like, Mom. It's like, I didn't give birth to any of you. It's like, we're sorry. It's like, sorry, Yun. We'll gladly accept your rice balls. It's like, where's the other entrance? You have it this way. He's like trying another sniffle. And you see Sinha like noticing the skull nearby, and he picks it up and kind of like touches heads with it and goes, sleep well. Yeah, Sinha's like coming. You have the skull resting next to the dragon mask. You have chapter 108 end. We get to chapter 109, Around and Around. We have, in the battle for control of Kin province, Koga's army won an overwhelming victory over South Kai. Territory that had been stolen during the reign of King Il was returned to the Earth Tribe. The 5 tribe councils meetings finally over. You have Gunte going, you sound like you just escaped from a classroom. It's like, you're sure in a good mood, old man. And that's Huck's little brother, whose name I cannot remember because it has been a long time since we've seen him. It's like, why wouldn't I be? My stolen territory has been restored, and I secured the rights to mine the mountains behind it. It's like, meh. That doesn't affect the Wind Tribe. It's like, Of course it does. Koga barely suffered any losses in that battle. The 5 tribes are becoming more united after years of division. That was unimaginable during King Il's reign. It's like, if King Suwon hadn't taken the throne, our nation probably would have collapsed when the Fire Tribe rebelled. It's like, yeah, I know. I understand that he's the king we need right now. You have General Gunte. That's Teiyu is a little Wind Tribe Bros or Sky Tribe Bros Wind Tribe Bros name. General Teiyu. And you see Suwon heading up going, are you both heading out? And Teiyu just kind of gives him a bland look, bows and goes, excuse me. And you see, great work, Lord Teiyu. It's like drunk young days, like been off enjoying the palace town. It's like, I'm here to pick you up. And you see General Gunte. It's like, thank you for your fine work. It's like, not at all. The Earth Tribes wanted that territory back for a long time. We never thought it could happen so quickly and decisively. We can't thank you enough. And Suwon's like, you haven't been back to Chishin Palace in a while, have you? I imagine Yuno is yearning for your return. And you see Yuno just praying, like, please bring my Gunte back safely. Please bring my Gunte back safely. It's like, well, I don't know. It's like, what about you, your majesty? It's like, me? It's like, surely there's a woman or two in your life who fulfills you? And Suwon's like, huh? It's like, no, actually. He's like, oh, come on. And you see Keisha behind him going, honestly, I wish he did have someone. And Gunte's like, no one? Seriously? So you're almost 19. It wouldn't be unusual for you to have a queen. So you're not some internal bachelor like Judo. And Judo's like, there's no call to bring me into this. And Gunte's like, I'll have to introduce you to someone. if only I had a daughter. It's like, maybe I could adopt one. And what was his advisor, bros? K-Shook is just like, he was receiving proposals even before he took the throne. He's like, K-Shook. But he's never shown interest in such things. And Guntai's like, Majesty, is there something wrong with you? Like, such as? And you see Jungji kind of just like stealthily sneaking up behind him with a swip. And Suwon's like, oh. He's like, can I help you, General Jungji? It's like, no. It's like, speaking of daughters, you have one, don't you? And he just was like, I was like, what's this about my beautiful daughter? It's like, it's been a long time since I've seen her. How is she? It's like, she was a timid little thing. And Judo's thinking, timid? It's like, he can't possibly mean Riri. And Jungji's just like, Riri is away from Suiko Palace at the moment. She leads a peaceful life. And Suwon's like, he is talking about Riri. And Judo's like, timid? It's like, however, should you wish to see my daughter, I can summon her at once. Suwon's just like, oh, no. And Jungji's like, you're protesting a bit too much there, Your Majesty. Is like, can we change the subject? It's like, indeed, you're king of a nation, we must choose your partner carefully. It's like, I'm not comfortable with the idea that you have no interest in women. And Judo's like, oh, that's not true. It did seem like he was fooling around in Awa. And Suwon thinks back to when he ran into Yona back then. And he's getting all embarrassed and flushed. He's like, that was... And Judo's like, was what? It's like, nothing. And Guntai's like, is there someone, a woman you like in Awa? It's like, who is she? I'll find her. It's like, it's really nothing. Just someone I bumped into. I don't even recall what she looked like, really. And he's like, oh. Jungji's like, a woman you just bumped into? Scandalous! It's like, nothing happened. He's like, oh no? It's like, then how did you fool around with this person you bumped into? A thrilling game of cat's cradle? And Suwon's getting embarrassed by all this, and Ukshi's like, alright, let's stop harassing the king. I swear I cannot remember what this guy's name is. K-Shook. It's like, Your Majesty, you have a meeting with General Jungji. It's like, great, let's go, General. It's like a secret meeting? It's like, it's not what you think. Unlike your tribe, mine is in a delicate situation. And you see as Guntai's heading out, Jungji goes, I explained the Water Tribe's narcotics problem at the meeting. The trafficking organization Shi-Sen and Sensui have been dismantled. But, as you feared, the problem extends beyond my tribe. And we see Ryusui Water Tribe territory. You have Zeno. Apologies, lad. I don't trust you. It's like, it won't happen again. It's like, you're always ripping your clothes and getting them all bloody. I can't keep up with the mending. It's like, well, that's why I've come to buy clothes for Zeno, right? And he just like bows like, thank you kindly. It's like, here's some money. Buy whatever you like. It's like, okay. It's like, if you do it again, you'll get nothing but a grass skirt. It's like, Zeno could become a half-naked tribesman, huh? It's like, I don't want to wash your blood-stained clothes anymore. And you see Yona's helping him pick out some clothes. Like, you seem to be having fun, Zeno. It's because the lad cares about Zeno's well-being. And Gija's like, that aside, this sure is a nice, peaceful town. So this is probably how Water Tribe territories are supposed to be. So the coastal region was in rough shape. And you see Yona as Sinha comes up with like a fancy little hair ornament for her, like with a flower pattern on it. And she's like, it's pretty. It's like, where'd you get it, Sinha? It's like, there. It's like, sir, I sure hope you... The merchant's like, sir, I sure hope you plan to pay for that. It's like, it's someone's merchandise. It's like, I didn't have money. It's like, I got money from Yun, but... And Jaeha's like, it's fine to treat yourself sometimes. It's like, why not get a cute hair ornament? It's like, Your Highness, there are some beautiful accessories over here. And she holds up a little necklace to Gija and is like, this suits you, Gija. It's so cute. It's like, it goes well with your complexion. It's like, I didn't mean for me. It's like, lapis lazuli is a charm for healing and good luck. It's like, and this one? It's like, that stone's for long life. It's like, long life? It's like, maybe I could get it for Granny? And you see Yona holding up the lapis stone, looking at it and pondering something. She goes, Jaeha, do you know where Huck is? And he's like, yep. And he points over to the side somewhere. Yeah. Where Huck just kind of like dozing off against the door. It's like, he's sleeping? It's like, he was on watch last night. Seems he didn't get enough rest. It's like, how unusual. It's like, right? No matter how tired he is, I can't believe he'd make such a silly face. It's like, he trusts everyone. It's like, oh? It's like, that's good to know. I'll be sure to use it against him. And Yona goes over with a tak 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 as she looks over at his like peaceful sleeping face. And then she sits down next to him. She's getting like all embarrassed and flushed, looking how cute he is. Like, oh, he's so cute. Actually, I guess this is the first time I've ever seen him fast asleep. And she's just kind of like playing with his hair. And Huck wakes up. They're like, both just like get shocked by the presence of the other. And he's like, huh? And he rubs his eyes and he's like, is Zeno done shopping? Yona's just like, he acted like nothing happened. He's like, oh, your highness. And Guido sees him sharing a laugh with Huck. And he turns around and walks away. He's like, weren't you going to talk to her? It's like, I feel as though I'd be interrupting. It's like, why let that stop you? It's like, I don't need to force her to focus on me. And JL's like, because you're one of the dragons? It's like, it's just how I feel. Don't worry about it. As he strides off. And he sees, JL also looks to see how happy Yona is. Yeah, blue dragon, blue dragon! It's like, look! Zeno is a foreign noble or something! And you see Zeno all dressed up fancy. He's like, a mysterious sorcerer! A half-naked tribesman! He's doing like a little fashion show and like Zeno or Sinha's clapping along. It's like, was that a laugh? It's like, it was, wasn't it? And you see a bwahaha! As he dresses up Sinha in those clothes, like, sir, please stop playing with the merchandise. It's like, still, Zeno likely can't buy much more than undergarments with the money the lad provided. It's like, well, Zeno has been known to bundle himself in whatever fabric he could find, or in straw if there was no cloth at hand. He's had a long life. And you hear a tee-hee, then perhaps a young lady could buy them for you. Is Zeno gonna get a sugar mommy? It's like, huh? Hold on. Zeno, those clothes. It's like, did you have enough money for all that? And you see Zeno's dressed up in like a nice robe and a scarf and all this fancy stuff. He's like, not at all. It's like, huh? Then how did you get them? It's like, a young lady bought them. It's like, who is this young lady? That sounds sketchy. And you see as you see Riri's attendants coming up behind them going, we bought them for him. It's like, Ira, Tetra. It's like, it's been some time. It's lovely to see you. It's like, I didn't expect to see you here. It's like, you all seem well. I'm glad. It's like, is Riri with you? And I think this Ira is like, Lady Riri is a bit... It's like, oh, she's returned to Suiko Palace, hasn't she? It's like, you two bought Zeno those clothes? It's like, yes, as a gift. It's like, you sure it's okay? It's like, I'm happy to help such an adorable fellow. And to celebrate our reunion, here's another gift. It's like, care for a drink? Here's Zeno like, oh, it's like alcohol. And you see them having some drinks. Yeah, drinks are far more enjoyable in the company of women. It's like, that's how you wound up drinking spiked liquor. It's like, no need to bring that up. It's like, this is a grape alcohol made with the water tribe's prized water. And there are no drugs in it, of course. Misugita's already getting, like, drunk off of it. It's like, are things better in Shishin and Sensui now? It's like, yes, somewhat. It's like, but gracious, can you believe we ran into you all here? It's like, come on, don't give us that. You're buttering us up for something. Spit it out. You came and found us because you need help, right? Just cutting straight to the point. He's like, huh? So you're still perceptive, Master Huck. And you see them both kind of bowing and going, in all honesty, yes. We want you to assist Lady Riri. It's like, what's happened to Riri? It's like, she has been banished from Suiko Palace. Joe, what? It's like, now that part is not a concern. But unsurprisingly, she's too restless to stay put. She wants to go to the nation of Sei. It's like, to Sei? It's like, yes. So you see Kingdom of Koka's like up here. The nation of Shing is like down here. And the nation of Sei is right down next to it. In the south west. You have, yes, we can't stop her from pursuing this. Given that, it's our hope that you'll escort Lady Riri on her journey. As you get chapter 109 end, we get back to Sensui Water Tribe territory. You have, Lady Riri, please stop. Please wait until Ira and Tetra return. It's like, nonsense. They'd object. It's like, please don't do this. Don't venture into Sei. You have, oh, Lady Riri, we can't take your eyes off you for a moment. She's like, Tetra, you're... She whips around in surprise as she sees Yona and the others. You have chapter 110, a small gift. Jeff, hey, what's going on? What did you do? And Tetra's like, my, that's a rude response. I happened to run into them, so I brought them back with me. So, but why? I'm about to head to Sei. It's like, well, yes, exactly. It's like, you want me to ask them for help? I can't. This is a water tribe concern. He goes, Lady Riri, going to another nation alone is far too reckless. It's like, I didn't say I was going alone. And Ira's like, oh, who's accompanying you? You must realize that you can't take troops into another nation. But these wonderful people are free agents, also invincible, so they're perfect. Highly recommend. Gold star. So can you think of a better way to achieve your goal? And Yona's like, you can ask anything of me, Riri. I'd love to help. And she's like, tears streaming down her face. It's like, huh? What's the matter? And Arya's like, she's frustrated because she dreams of helping you, but you're always helping her instead. And she's like, all embarrassed, like, Ira! It's like, you don't need to worry about that. She kind of pats her on the head. It's like, Lady Riri isn't used to these feelings. And she's like, it's like this. Merchants from Say are illegally selling Nadai? It's like, we think so. No matter how hard we try to completely eradicate Nadai and Sensui, more keeps popping up. And we've already stopped it from entering via South Kai. I've had some merchants in Sensui looking into it. Rumor has it that merchants from Say are selling Nadai to Water Tribe citizens on the black market. And there's more. There have been frequent disappearances near the border of Say. It's like, yikes, that's scary. All in all, Say is clearly engaging in suspicious activity. If we ignore them, the Water Tribe will be in danger again. I want to do all I can to stop that. And you're Hawk just laughing, and Ryu's like, is something funny? It's like, oh, sorry. It's like seeing a second princess. And Yona's like, Hawk. And Jayha's like, you have a lot to worry about, don't you? And Tetra's like, she's such a handful. It's like, Tetra! It's like, of course we'll help you. It's like, Yona. It's like, I'll accompany you. It's like, we'll take a look at the towns near the border starting tomorrow. You have, Lady Yona. And Yona's like, you don't have to call me that. Tetra's like, thank you for indulging my selfish request. It's like, it's no problem. I'm glad you came to me. It's like, ordinarily, I'd feel confident in my ability to help her with this. But since that battle, I'm no longer able to do all that I could before. Please look after Lady Riri. See you later that night. It's like, you're sure I can sleep here? It's like, of course. It's a bit cramped, but I doubt you can sleep in that room full of men. And you have borrowed sleepwear from Riri. You have Jaya just like clutching his pillow to his chest. He's like sleeping under a roof. It's like fluffy bedding. It's like a school trip. And Zeno's like, pillow fight! And he was like, Zeno, don't roughhouse at your age. And Hawks and Jayha's like, have a drink? Or Hawk a drink? He's like, sure. And you see later as Yona's sneaking under the blankets with Riri. It's like, well, I'm coming in. It's like, please do. It's like, I was shocked to hear you'd been banished from Suiko Palace. I'm glad you're doing well. And Riri's like, of course I am. Father might scold me for this as well, but it's too hard to stand by and watch. It's like, I know. It's like, if I discuss the situation with the king, he might listen to us. And you see Yona kind of looking despondent about that again. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. It's like, that's right. To her, King Suwon is... Yona's like, it's okay. You're right that Suwon might do something about it. It's like, he's your cousin who stole the throne from you, right? Doesn't that mean he's your enemy? How can you talk about him like that? Don't you hate him? And Yona's just kind of like lapsed into silence again. Sorry, I'm being thoughtless. And Yona's like, after my father was killed and I left the palace, I was grief-stricken. I couldn't even imagine forgiving Suwon. How could the kind person I know have done that? But having seen our nation and seeing him when the Fire Tribe rebelled, and at the incident in Sensui, I started to think that what Suwon wanted was to protect this nation in a very different way than my father did. It's like, don't you want to avenge your father's death? And Yona's like, Koka needs a strong leader. What I want doesn't matter. If I kill him, the nation will fall into chaos. If Suwon were a terrible, self-serving ruler, I might have gone to kill him. But right now, I can't think about vengeance. Ryu's like, I see, but then... It's like, of course I wanted to take revenge. But the truth is, even if I can't forgive Suwon, I've never truly wanted to kill him either. I can't bring myself to believe that Suwon's kindness to me and Huck was all a lie. And Ryu's like, Yona, is it possible that you had feelings for him? She kind of like drapes like a friendly arm over her. It's like, right now, I want to know more about him. I want to know what he's thinking, what he plans to do, and what I should do when he achieves it. I want to get to know him differently than I did when I was in the palace. So, but what about, well, it's like, Huck, what about him? And Yona's like, I don't think Huck will ever forgive Suwon. Even if Suwon is ultimately good for Koka, Huck trusted him more than anyone else. Nothing can change how badly Suwon hurt him. And you see later that night as Riri's dozing away peacefully, Yona's like, I can't sleep. And she goes outside. And she sees Huck sitting on the rock next to the little pond. It's like, Huck, you're awake. It's like, same to you. It's like, where is everyone? It's like, asleep. They're all exhausted. Too much pillow fighting. So things were lively, huh? He's like, oh, wait right there. She goes, dashes inside, comes back out. It's like, what is it? It's like, just sit still. And she puts the little lapis lazuli necklace around him and goes, it's for you. It's like, I bought it in Ryusui, but I didn't have a chance to give it to you. Lapis lazuli is supposed to bring healing and good luck. Isn't it pretty? I heard that if you make a wish on it, it'll come true for the person you give the stone to. The wish I made was for good luck to come to you. And Huck just kind of like smiles at it. Just got like a little happy smile on it. He's like, honestly, this is supposed to be something a man gives to a woman. And Yona's like, it's fine. Men can wear charms too. It's like, wear it, okay? It's like, okay. He's silent before she goes, well, good night. Now she turns to leave, kind of just grabs her hand. She's like, Huck? What is it? My hand. And he goes, thank you for this. Makes me really happy. I'll treasure it. It's like a proper thank you from you? If you're that happy, the charm must be working. And he goes, Princess, the only thing I need to be happy is for you to be happy. You see that Yona's kind of like trying to deal with all the conflicted feelings. She gets back in, and Ray wakes up like, Yona, where'd you go? She sees that Yona's kind of like closed her eyes. She's like tearing up. It's like, huh? Hey, what's wrong? Are you hurt? It's like, I don't know. It's like, you don't know? It's like, I think it might be happiness. It's like, what do you mean? It's like, what Huck said warmed me right through, but it made my chest ache too. And Riri's kind of like patting her as Yona just like rolls over to look at her. It's like, oh, you look awful. I need a washcloth. It's like, I'm glad you're here, Riri. It's like, why are you talking like this? It's like, somehow I didn't quite realize just how special Huck is to me. Nice. All right, chapter 110 done. Chapter 111, the town where people vanish. We have, it was evening when we arrived in this town. Yeah, what? Firecrackers? It's like Tosui's having a festival to celebrate the water god tonight. It's like a festival? Oh. It's like it's held annually in this area. It's pretty lively. Lots of music and fireworks. Huck's like, is this the place? The town with the disappearances and the Sei merchants? It's like, well, it's like Lady Riri. And you see this old lady and it's like, oh, hello, Subaru. It's like, oh my goodness, you really came back? It's like, of course, I want to end these problems too. And she's like, thank you so much. It's like, oh, let me introduce you. This is Subaru, an acquaintance of mine. It's like, about a month ago, her son went missing from around here. And Yoon's like, what? It's like, how old is he? It's like, 15. He went out that night and never came back. Give me a second, because I dog. Alright, hopefully that should be the last distraction. So Riri's like, I've been gathering what information I can, but I don't have many leads. The Sei border is long. I have no idea if this is related to Nadai. It's like, I was thinking I'd start by investigating Tosui. It's like, got it. It's like, who are they, Lady Riri? It's like, oh, these people will be helping me to investigate. They're all like, pleased to meet you. It's like, oh my. It's like, I hope to see you around. Lady Riri certainly has lots of strange friends. And they're like, her strange friends hope to see you around too. It's like, Subaru runs an inn. I got to know her when I was cracking down on Nadai. It's like, I'll take your things to the inn. It's like, that's a big help. We'll stay there tonight. It's like, oh, she thinks I'm the daughter of a nobleman in Sensui. Make sure you remember that. And you see a bong bong as someone's banging on some drums. And you see the festival starting to go underway as you got like trumpets blaring. And Gita's like, the festival's begun. It's like, all the people attending it will make things harder. Or maybe it'll be like the riot, Nadai riot in Shisen. Could be to our advantage. Plus, Sinha won't stand out too much. You see some dancers like masks on dancing around. So there could be Sei merchants mingling in the crowd. And you see a Pakil as Ao tries to make a break for it. Sinha just grabs her and goes, Ao, you have to stay close. It's like, I wonder if she's hungry. There are tasty smells coming from every side. Jeff, lad, these sweets are scrumptious. Want one? So don't revert to childhood, you eternal teenager. He's like, hey, where'd you get the money for all this? And you have Tetra saying, like, I gave it to him. Don't worry. This guy apologized for our fool here. It's like, look, Sinha, that's what a good mother looks like. We've come all this way. Please enjoy yourselves tonight. And you see, Zeno's just gone buck wild. He's got a little fan, a little mask, a little treat. It's like, you shouldn't spoil him. It's like, in that case, I'll mingle with the festival crowds and learn what I can. It's like, Zeno? It's like, got it. Come with us, Blue Dragon. So I'll carry all of you and parade through the streets. You see Gita just kind of like balancing all of them on one hand as Jeha's playing a flute. And you see Sinha just playing lookout as Zeno's juggling. I apologize for my dog. He's just kind of being a turd today. And Yun's like, cut that out. Do you strange beast brothers want to stand out even more? And you see a princess. Like, princess! And Yun's like, ah! He's like, you startled me. And Huck's like, I was going to say you might get lost if you're distracted. It's like, what was so surprising? She starts blushing again. It's like, your voice is bad for my heart. Act more normal when you talk to me. And he's like, my voice? How come? It's like, it's nothing. It's like, hey, your highness. He grabs her hand and starts like leading her around. It's like, where are Gija and the others? Like, scouting the area. It's like, what about Riri? It's like, she's gathering information around here with Ira and Tetra. He's like, what? Everyone headed off? It's like, I told you would get lost. And Yona's like, it's my fault. It's like, what's the matter? It's not like you to zone out at a time like this. Did something happen? And she's like, I've been a little on edge since last night. And Huck's like, why? It's like, I couldn't sleep. He's like, oh? He's like, And she's thinking, like, I've been thinking about you constantly. He's like, I can't say that. It's like, he's the last person in the world I can say that to. It's too embarrassing. And you see Huck just completely confused by all this. It's like, if I did, I bet he'd say, is there something wrong with your highness? And then snicker at me. I can't say anything so weird. He's like, hello? He's like, it's fine. Let's just go. And you hear, ah! He's like, that was Riri's voice. And Yona just like clenches her fist. She's like, I've got to pull myself together. It's like, Riri, what happened? It's like, I'm okay, but someone cut my hand. You see, like, our drop blood just dripping down her arm. It's like, they cut you? It's like, it's no big deal. It's just a scratch. Tetra's like, they got away. You hear chatter in the crowd as you see the fireworks kind of lighting up the sky. It's like, Huck, did you hear that? It's like, yeah. The fireworks and cheering covered it, but there were screams. It's like, maybe more Nadai addicts. And Ira's like, Tetra's like, a Nadai merchants from Seiya were rumored to be in this town. It wouldn't be surprising if they were here. It's like, please stay put, Lady Riri. I'll go and... It's like, wait, Tetra. It's like, Gita goes, stop. Fighting is our job. Take Her Highness and Riri back to the inn. You still need to go easy on your body. He's like, okay. It's like, let's go. It's like, I'll carry you, Gija. It's like, come with us, lad. And Yona's like, huh? Okay. It's like, they're probably dead and injured people. Yona's like, I'll go. And Sinha's like, don't, Yona. It's dangerous. It's like, that's right. I need to protect Riri. I see later at the end, it's like, Lady Riri, you're bleeding. It's like, I'm fine, Subaru. It doesn't hurt. It's like, I'm stumbling over my tongue here. Did a Nadai addict do this? It's like, possibly. It's like, hey, you there! People have collapsed on the bridge. A lot of them are injured. Can you give us a hand? And Yona exchanges a look with Huck and gives a nod of approval. And he just leaps out the window to go help. It's like, apparently the disturbance was caused by an accident. It's like, I see. You know, it was like an accident. It's like, is there a doctor? Someone help over here. It's like, Whitesnake, droopy eyes. It's like, this is bad. It's like, yeah, some people wound up in the river. We need to save them quickly. It's like, guess we won't have any time to look into Nadai. So this accident came at an awful time. And you see Sinha seeing these group of guys like dragging away someone. And you have a hurry up and a, hey, where are you taking them? They all pull out some swords as Sinha stares them down. And you see later that Ira notices something and she goes and she sees some guys seemingly gossiping in the hallway. She goes, who are you people? You don't seem like guests to me, as she pulls out her swords. It's like, I hope everyone's all right. It's like, yeah. And Tetra also notices something off. She has a crash from downstairs and goes, I'm just going to go take a look outside. And Riri's like, I can't believe there's such a huge accident when we haven't a die to worry about. And I assume that's Yona going, was it an accident? He's like, huh? Was it really only an accident? It's like, what? And that cut on your hand, was that just an accident too? It's like, it's just a scratch. It's like, just a scratch. They stopped at a scratch. And he's like, what is it, Yona? He's like, it probably means they wanted you here at the inn. It's like, what are you saying? And you see, you're getting like all woozy. You hear a crash as Riri collapses on the table. He's like, Riri? It's like, Riri! Of course, the old lady's in on it. You have Riri! As she tries to go to her support, Subaru just claps cloth over Yona's face and drugs her out and goes, sleep well, you perceptive young lady. So you see bonus chapter, Sleep Well Tonight. Yeah, why not? It's a short chapter, we'll go through it. So yeah, the Princess of Hiryu Palace knows very little about the world. You might even say she's a little ditzy. It's like, next, faster! It's like, hey, Huck. It's like you see Huck training soldiers. It's like the princess's personal bodyguard, General Son Huck, suppresses his feelings for her by spending his time training in martial arts. It's like, pull your arms in tighter. Too slow. Next. It's like, what is it? It's like, could you sleep in my chamber just tonight? And you see Huck sends one of the soldiers just flying. It's like, General Huck's gone mad. Someone get a doctor. Yeah, there's a ghost. He's like, this is stupid. He's like, don't abandon me, Huck. Like, last night I woke up to strange voices, and my body was so heavy, like someone was holding me down. And Huck's like, sounds like sleep paralysis. It's like, shall I call an attendant? It's like, don't bother. Oh, sorry, that's Huck going, shall I call an attendant? It's like, don't bother. No one will listen to me. It's like, you're strong, aren't you? If it appears again, I want you to eliminate it. It's like, as you wish. It's like, in that case, I'll sleep right by your side. Pardon me. He's trying to get a rise out of her, and he sneaks under the covers, and Yona just sneaks right in next to him, and he just gets out all embarrassed. Like, you're supposed to say something to stop me. You're a princess, remember? It's like, I don't care. Just stay with me. It's like, what kind of training is this? It's like, shall I send out a messenger to Lord Suwon so that he can sleep next to you tomorrow? It's like, if you did that, I'd die of embarrassment. It's like, never mind that. I want you here, right here. She passed the bed next to her. It's like, if I start thinking she's cute, I lose. Crap. It's like Huck's inner struggle. So he just kind of like sits on the bed next to her. It's like, honestly, is this all right? It's like, yes. Also, give me your pinky. It's like, want me to cut it off? It's like, no, put your hand here. She kind of just grasps with her hands as she goes to sleep. And Huck's just like at a loss for words. It's like, you're acting strange, Your Highness. You see Yona as she is now. She's just like swinging her sword. I was like, really? Ghosts? I'd like to meet one. And Huck's like, she sure has gotten strong. And we go back to the flashback with, before the sleep paralysis, I had a scary dream. It's like, oh? It's like, it was in the middle of the night and so dark. We were chased from the palace. We ran and ran through the darkness. But when I looked up, you were covered in blood. I kept calling your name, but you didn't move. When I woke up, you were gone. I wanted to scream, but I couldn't move. I was terrified. I never want that to happen again. So, for tonight, let me hold your finger. So he just kind of slips his pinky out of her hand and then gives her, instead uses his entire hand to give her hand a squeeze. He goes, you can have my whole hand. Sleep well. You have a thump. As she rolls over with a, never mind. It's like, huh? It's like, don't look at me. You have a, huh? Alright, so I guess some quick thoughts on the chapter. So, the beginning, like extra stuff, again, this is I don't know if I can really call it a criticism at this point, but again, to me, a lot of the supernatural, like magic stuff in Yona of the Dawn still feels very extraneous to a lot of the series, like given how relatively small of an impact it has overall, like given the fact that at this point it's kind of just limited to, you know, the Dragon Warriors, like to have their whole like useful abilities and stuff. Apart from that, I don't feel like it's really had much of an influence or reach on like a larger part of the series or the series as a whole. So when we get side stories like this, you know, kind of like dealing with spirits and all that stuff, it feels, what's the word? Like, it doesn't feel well incorporated to me. Like, it feels like extraneous to a lot of stuff. So it's kind of like, on the one hand, I can enjoy it as like, like cute little like strange extra stories, like yeah, cute little like extra side stories and stuff like that. But again, it's kind of like hard to square with the rest of the series as a whole. And I think this one particularly kind of suffered from continuously being undercut with the jokes and the comedy of like everyone being like, oh, you're such a so feminine, oh, he's got a mothering instincts and all that, and like him tossing Yona like the rice balls and things like that. So it kind of undercut like the catharsis and like the emotional heft you're supposed to feel from like Sinha finally meeting one of the other blue dragons, and then like learning like he was also like discriminated against, he's been suffering and all that. Like a lot of that emotional heft was undercut by the comedy at the beginning. So it's kind of like it's entertaining. The comedy was entertaining. I'm not going to be like the comedy wasn't entertaining, but it really did undercut like the rest of that story. It was kind of like, all right, this is fine, but probably my least favorite kind of like side story thing we've gotten so far in the series. But yeah, it's like as filler, it was fine, but nothing too like grand or glamorous about it. With that said, it's nice to see, I guess, Riri back after a couple of volumes. It feels like hasn't been that long since we've seen her. I feel like it has been a couple of volumes. I guess given the pace of like with the chapters and stuff coming out, I guess it would be technically a while since we've seen her. Again, I'm not super keen on like getting back to the Nadai stuff, given how kind of abruptly and poorly the whole drug arc was handled last time. So I'm a little bit wary about like getting into that again, given how it ended. But I'm willing to give Kusanagi-san like the benefit of the doubt to an extent to see like if they're gonna do a bit better job with it this time. But we'll see. I'm kind of holding my breath. I'm not really having like great or high expectations for it. But yeah, I like the dynamic between Yona and Riri. I like how they're basically like sisters at this point. And I think it's been a while because like Yona's been like traveling with dudes like most of whom are like significantly older than her. So I feel like it's nice for her to finally have someone closer to her own age. She's able to kind of like interact and bond with. That said, I think my favorite part of this is like more of the advancement with like the slow burn romance between Yona and Huck, like them slowly starting to like realize their feelings for each other. I really really like that. It's super adorable, like because Yona's still so young, she doesn't know like how to properly like process these feelings she has. So it's kind of adorable like how embarrassed and like flustered she's getting by all of this. Yeah, like the favorite moment by far is definitely like the little like content smile that Huck has when Yona gives him a little gift, because I think it's so unexpected and surprising. I think for him to realize that she is like thinking about him and his well-being. So I really really like those parts. But yeah, hopefully we'll see the Nadai stuff handled a little bit better. I think we'll probably cover at least one more volume today and then a couple more tomorrow, so look forward to that. As always, if you like my content, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Like I mentioned, I'm going to try to be more consistent with read-throughs and uploading content to the channel this year. And I thank you all for your support up until this point. And until next time, this is Ash. I will talk to you all later.